Africa, the cradle of humankind, a continent of golden sunsets and ancient kingdoms, where the heartbeat of civilization once echoed through vast savannas, rainforests, and deserts, long before the world drew lines upon her soil. From the wisdom of Timbuktu to the might of the Mali Empire, from the artistry of Benin to the majesty of great Zimbabwe, Africa thrived with culture, trade, and power, her people living in harmony with the land, proud of their heritage and their gods, until the storm of colonization descended upon her. In 1884, far away in the cold halls of Berlin, European powers gathered to divide her lands like a feast, marking borders with pens and rulers, ignoring tribes, languages, and history, birthing a tragedy of greed and domination. The colonial years that followed stripped Africa of her wealth and dignity, her people forced into labor, their lands seized, their resources drained to feed empires oceans away. Yet, beneath the weight of chains and the cruelty of whips, the spirit of resistance burned. In the jungles, deserts, and cities, brave souls rose. Warriors like Samurai Touré and Shaka Zulu fought for their people's pride, and the seeds of rebellion began to take root. In time, a new generation emerged, educated yet defiant, inspired by Pan-Africanism, by the dream that Africa could one day stand united and free. Voices like W.E.B. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, and George Padmore lit the flame, and young visionaries like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, Patrice Lumumba, and Nnamdi Azikiwe carried it home. After World War II, the tide of change became unstoppable. African soldiers who had fought for European freedom returned home to find their nation still enslaved, and they refused to accept it. Ghana led the way in 1957 under Nkrumah's cry that the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation of Africa, and from that spark, the fire spread. 1960 became the Year of Africa as 17 nations gained independence, their people flooding the streets with tears of joy, waving flags that had never before flown free. But not all freedom came peacefully. In Kenya, the Mau Mau fought in the forests. In Algeria, the FLN waged a bloody war against French rule. In Angola and Mozambique, liberation came after decades of guerrilla struggle. And in South Africa, apartheid's cruel shadow lasted until 1994, when Nelson Mandela walked free to lead a reborn nation. Yet independence brought new trials. Borders drawn by colonizers sowed division. Economies built for export left nations poor, and foreign powers turned to manipulation through debt and politics. Heroes like Lumumba and Thomas Sankara dreamed of a self-reliant Africa and paid with their lives, but their visions lived on in the hearts of millions. Through coups, corruption, and crisis, the African spirit endured. The Organization of African Unity was born in 1963, planting the seeds of continental unity. Across decades, Africa rebuilt, from the hands of farmers and teachers to the minds of inventors and artists. Women rose to lead. Wangari Maathai fought for the environment, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf shattered ceilings as the first female president, and countless others carried the torch of progress. Today, Africa stands between history and destiny. Her cities glow with life, from Nairobi's tech hubs to Lagos's music beats, from Kigali's green transformation to Accra's creative pulse. Her youth are coding, creating, and dreaming of a future their ancestors prayed for. Though scars of colonization remain, the drum of freedom still beats louder. The song of resilience grows stronger. Africa's independence was not a gift. It was earned in blood, struggle, and unity. From the first cry of rebellion to the final raising of flags, the continent has shown that no empire lasts forever, but the will of a free people cannot be crushed. And so Africa rises still, proud, defiant, and eternal. Her past a lesson, her present a rebirth, her future a promise written in the rhythm of her heart and the endless light of her sky.